here at Union Community Care. Union Community Care is a community health center, which means we provide physical health care, dental care, social services, and behavioral health to everyone in the community. It's offered at low price or no price, depending on the individual, and it's fantastic care. We've been doing it for over 50 years, and we're so pleased to be able to serve the community. So personally, I serve as the leader of a healthcare organization that serves the most vulnerable. We serve sick people every day. So I was the leader at the helm during a time when there were more questions than answers, when we couldn't get the equipment that we needed to keep our staff safe, when it was a challenge, when the prices were jacked up 200%, and worrying every day that the decisions we made were truly life and death decisions. So my team and I, we committed to doing the right things in the very beginning, and it started with keeping our staff and our patients safe. But in the midst of doing that as my job, I also had to deal with it through my family. And, in May of last year, my nephew, his name is Michael, he's 27, he got COVID, and he died at 27 years old. So this is not just an exercise, it's not just an experience, that I worked through, but it's an experience that I lived through. And Michael was a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful young man in the prime of his life. And there is no reason that he should be dead today. So this disease does not discriminate. And so I think that's why it's so important for us to understand that we actually have a tool now to prevent future deaths, to prevent getting seriously ill from COVID. And that tool is a vaccine. So, the partnership between Patients Are Waiting and Union Community Care has been in existence before the pandemic. We are aligned in our mission, which is to grow more representation among healthcare providers of people of color, and to ensure that they are in the pipeline and supported to be able to go and change the world as doctors and nurses and healthcare professionals in hospitals and community health centers like Union Community Care. When it comes to the vaccination effort, we knew that we could do this together. We could be stronger together than either of us could be alone. So we were able to support Patients Are Waiting to provide these pop-up vaccination clinics in the community. So we are going to community, not expecting them to come to us. And we are providing vaccines by folks that they know, folks that they trust, in places that they trust. We're making it fun for families to come out and get vaccinated. It's not a scary thing. We want to make sure folks don't feel like it's a scary thing. And it is really part of ensuring that our communities stay strong and that they stay healthy. Well, the reasoning behind it is because we have a shared purpose. So when you have a shared purpose, it is really, it's not a question, it's a how can we make it happen? And it's funny, but Dr. Hamblin and I have never met in person. We talked many times via phone and via remote, but because of the pandemic, we just couldn't connect in person. But really what we're trying to do is the same. So it was a non-issue. As soon as we were in a position that we had resources available, we reached out to them. We were able to execute a contract for these services right away. And by not providing so much red tape that it makes it impossible for a small nonprofit to participate, we were able to have them, be able to start this work really quickly, and they've done just a fabulous job. The mission for more equity is part of what's core to us, and it's core to them, so we're naturally aligned. When you look at who has gotten COVID, communities of color have gotten COVID more, they have been infected more, and that has to do a lot with the type of work that we do. So not all of us have jobs where we get to sit at home in our pajamas and work and get paid. A lot of us have jobs, we have to get out in the public. We work in jobs where we're interacting with people, therefore we are more likely to be exposed, and that's exactly what happened. So I would just share that communities of color, we have been more negatively impacted, but we're strong. We have been strong for hundreds and thousands of years, and we will get through this. We will come on the other side. A lot of us will have broken hearts, but we will get through this. We will get through this. And I think do what you can, get vaccinated, make sure that you get the people that you love vaccinated, that you encourage your friends, that you get good information. And if you're not sure where to get information, come to Union Community Care. We have doctors, nurse practitioners, providers with decades of experience, and they live here in the Lancaster community. You can trust what they say. So come and see us if you have questions about the vaccine, and be part of this community as we move forward, because we will all move forward, and we'll do it together, and we'll be stronger.
Good morning. Wake up, guys. It's TCP in the morning.
Wake up!
Wake up.
Wake up! Wake up!
Wake up. Wake up.
Wake up!
Wake up.
Wake up.
Wake up! It's TCP in the morning.
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 TCP in the morning.
It's 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 TCP in the morning.
Good morning. Wake up, y'all. It's TCP in the morning with the morning tea.
Sing the song here in a minute.
TCP in the morning.
Would you look at that?
Oh man, feeling good, feeling great, feeling great, feeling good.
How are
How are you? Let's go, America. Oh man. Yo. Hey, if you know, hey, sing it with us. Welcome to the show. Ladies and gentlemen, wake your ass up, brush your teeth, brush your ass. Your morning team is back. Hey,
Let's go.
What up, Sarge?
What up,
How
y'all?
you
How
doing?
y'all doing? Yo, it's Pisces season.
Oh.
My birthday season. How about it? My birthday coming up, America, March 11th.
It's my birthday month.
Don't know.
Let's go.
Listen, you can donate to the Dixon Birthday Foundation. I'll drop the cash app, hit the bubble.
There you go.
No, but I had a great weekend, some great time off.
Yes.
Good time spent with family.
Awesome.
And I'm happy to be back. You know, I always start missing things. You
Yes,
know.
yes.
Even did some karaokeing. Did I say that right? Karaokeing.
Heard that you killed it, man.
There was a big crowd.
Ah.
And they all weren't friendly faces. And I didn't even dress the part. You know, I just wore what I wore. But yeah, guys, I'm happy to be back.
Yes.
How you guys doing? Let's
Doing
go.
well, Lady L. What up?
Oh, man, that felt like a little round. Doing well. What up, Lady L? Well, I ain't got nothing really to tell. But
Hey.
I really enjoyed this long week free. Didn't have no TCP in the morning. Got
Hey.
to sleeping late. Got to take the kids to school. Got to do all the things I think is really cool. Say no, what's up,
There
y'all?
it
Good
is.
morning. Good morning. Listen, it's the last day of Black History Month. So I hope that you learned something, you taught your children something, and I hope that you enjoyed our Black Formation affirmations this past February. Listen, guys, we got a phenomenal show for you. So listen, before we get started, I just want you to show us some love and share the stream. Over to my handsome husband co-host.
Hey, what's going on, everyone? My name is Marquise Lupton. My mama calls me that. Special shout out to my mama. Happy birthday to you.
Hey,
happy birthday to
Mama
you.
Lupton.
Mom, everybody else calls me DJ Quiet Storm.
DJ Quiet Storm.
Who calls you that?
One of 3 L's, one of 4 personalities on this thing we call TCP in the morning. DJ Double O, what's up, man?
Hey, I can't call him, man. I know I look a little different. I know I look a little different back here because things are different in here. Y'all can't see everything that changed, but I'm going to let you know. we got some things going on in here. I'm happy to be here as always. Glad I missed the family last week. I always said when we come back from break, like that week off was a little bit too long. Like by the time it's Thursday, it's like, well, I miss my friends. I want to see them again.
Right.
Anyway, man, I'm happy to be here, man. I'm grateful that we could do this every day.
Yes.
Let's get these people the news.
Yeah, man. Give the people the news, folks. Good morning to you. Don't be rude. Say it back. This is TCP in the morning, the best thing that you can have in your cup and on your radio or on your Facebook watch. So, folks, good morning to you. Who do we have watching us? Squad! Squad up! Taekwondo, good morning. Sheila, good morning. Lisa, good morning to you. We missed you as well. Sabrina, great to see you. You as well, Candace, good morning to you. James, what is going on? Good morning to you. To all those looky-loos that are looking, good morning to you. Don't be rude. Say it back. This is TCP in the morning, the best thing that you can have in your cup. We have a jam-packed show for you today, folks. We are talking everything Jerry Johnson, and then we're going to be talking everything Ukraine, Russia, the fallout, and what is going on within there. Brother Sharif, good morning to you. Cannot wait to have you on next month for your Black History Moment. Folks, we got some guests coming in today. I am excited, especially about this top story. So, folks, make sure that you share the stream because friends don't let friends TCP alone. Lisa, thank you very much. Yes, we are excited about the new location that we are at, folks. We call this a media cluster. What does that mean? You will soon find out. So, to the folks, to the front, to the left, to the front, to the back, to the left, and the right. Let's give y'all the news, man.
Let's go.
I think it is about that time, folks. Like I said, we have a jam-packed show for you today. Make sure you're not TCPing alone. Yes. Let's go. Hey. 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 If you know it, sing it with us. Come on. Time to give the people, yeah. Give the people what they want.
And that's the news.
With a shimmy.
Thanks for stopping by. Our first story today, folks. Before we get to our first story, Lady L.
Yes.
Patients are waiting. They have the dining with dads today.
Oh my goodness, they sure do. And you know what's crazy is that I said to our oldest, I said, you know, you got the daddy-daughter dance coming up. And she was like, what? I don't want to go. I don't want to go. And I was like, huh, what? But you liked it last time. She's like, I don't want to go. I was like, I'm sorry. I misspoke. Dining with dad. She's like, oh, okay, yeah, I'm going to that.
Dining with dads is popping.
So, yes, Dining with Dads is going down this evening. I think the menu includes making your own pizza. But what I love about this is that it's not just for dads, but it's for all men who are like mentors, uncles, godfathers,
grandfathers.
Grandfathers, all of those things. And if you come talking on my page about some cisgender mess, I'm going to fight you because this is not what we're here for. We are here talking about men stepping up to the plate, and shouts out to them for that. So again, Dining with Dads is taking place this evening here in Lancaster City, hosted by My World Entertainment, and of course our Black Lady Doctors. Yes, the ladies over at Patients Are Waiting. Now listen, there aren't any women there. I've never been. I've only sent my girls, and they're always raving about it. So I'm looking forward to having a house to myself and only having to be concerned with making myself dinner. Over to the desk.
All right, so folks, for those that have not known what has been going on with Hall of Famer Jerry Johnson, is that he is the new AD, athletic director at La Academia Charter School, and he has been met with multiple obstacles ever since becoming the AD there. They have a basketball team that won districts last year, you know, a team full of black and brown kids, and there seems to be a problem with that. Now, they follow the same model as your Lancaster Catholics, They follow the same model as your Lancaster Mennonites. Meaning what? Meaning that when they have kids come to their school, they're not dedicated to a specific school district. For example, if you live in the Donegal School District, you go to Donegal High School. If you live in the McCaskey School District, you go to McCaskey, so forth and so on. But unlike Lancaster Catholic or Lancaster Mennonite, they're not bound to those jurisdictions. So let's say that you live in Manheim Township like I did, you could still go to Lancaster Catholic, and Lancaster Catholic was a participant in the LL League. And Lancaster Mennonite is a participant in the PIAA. They don't make any stink or any issue of Lancaster Catholic and Lancaster Mennonite being a part of the league. Now, with this new team coming in, this charter school that doesn't even have its own home court yet, so they're working uphill from jump, they have been met with issue after issue after issue talking about, the kids don't live in the jurisdiction, they don't live in the district, so then therefore they shouldn't be eligible to play. And he has been faced with multiple issues, even though, again, Lancaster Mennonite and Lancaster Catholic share the same kind of model. So why do we bring all of that up? Because the defending District 3 Class 1A boys champions, which is La Academia Charter School, has pulled out of the playoffs after district rules 2 starters ineligible. One of those starters, and here's the most insidious thing about this, America. One of the starters on the basketball team, they're saying that it is a guardianship issue. That's why they're ineligible. Now, hold that, America. Because they say it's a guardianship issue because his mom died. Hold that. They said that this young man is ineligible because they don't know who his parents are. Literally, his mom died days before being hailed ineligible, and they say we don't know who this kid's parents are, so therefore we don't know where he lives, so therefore he's deemed ineligible. The stretches of all stretches.
Like Lancaster Catholic didn't have 2 foreign exchange students playing on their basketball team, and they were 6'6" African kids.
Right.
Nobody complained about that.
Right. But when you're a small charter school like La Academia,
led by a black man.
Exactly. And then when you're knocking off teams like a Linville, who are one of the area high schools that has complained, then dust-ups like not even dust-ups, racial biases like this begin to rear their ugly head. Go ahead, Sarge. I want to get you in on this.
I have an issue with this because I'm looking at the school that made the complaint. A school like Linville Hill. A school like Linville Hill is a school that's pretty much home to a private sector of the community, a private Amish Mennonite community.
Mm-hmm.
And usually after 8th grade, after 8th grade, they can either choose to stay in school, you can go to high school, and they'll either choose Linville Hill or they'll just work. All right, so Linville Hill they operate under the same guides almost as La Academia. They do. They get people from all over.
Wow.
Like they have people from all
Did
over,
not know that.
not from just one area. Like this is a collection of all the Amish Mennonite kids in Pennsylvania, like around the area.
Oh.
Wow. Like and that's what kind of bugs me, because you want to keep the sport, you want to keep it fair, right? Keep it fair, keep it true, but don't take away from the kids. Don't take away from the kids. Let's take away from the game.
Exactly.
And for continuing on with the story, like Jerry, for Coach Johnson, to have talked to him, to have talked to the person in charge of this, Director Ron, to have talked to him about this prior to this happening, and him still not being on board, saying, well, there's a whole process now. Like, all right, well, it's going to go under review, 2-month review after the season or something, determine anything. But you can't just kick, you know what I mean? Like, just drop them. Drop kids. Because, yeah, it's messed up on Linville Hill's part.
And I know for a fact that schools like a Lancaster Catholic, schools like a Lancaster Mennonite send out recruiting letters. I don't even know if that's legal in high school. Handwritten letters signed by the coaches and everything. But before I continue, let's get Lady L in on this. Lady L.
I think it's really unfortunate for the young man in this situation. I mean, honestly, when I heard it, it did kind of remind me of a rendition of Sha'Carri Richardson, like young brown person, something personal happens in their life, and then the institution uses, that situation to exploit them. And that's what I see here with this young man, right? They've seen an opportunity. Oh, he's a good player. He out here crushing these white boys. They're not going to be able to get no scholarship. They're not going to Duke, and he out here crushing them like that. Well, what do you do? Oh, his mom died. Oh, hold on. What? Hold on. Like,
where does he live? Who's he staying with?
Right, like that. First of all, how is that your first issue of concern?
Right.
It almost seemed like you were kicking him out of the school. You just assumed that he was going to end up in New Jersey or something. Like, and that's the unfortunately, that's really what it seems where they took it and taking advantage and exploiting this young man's situation. His mom passed on. They didn't even give the family time to get their bearings together.
Right.
Right? You know what I'm saying? Like, they're doing what they do, right? And these rules are only meant for certain kids.
Yep.
And they only show up at certain times, such as this. And so I'm hoping that the PIAA stands up and acknowledges their wrongdoing and tries to fix this situation.
Yeah.
So, guys, please feel free to call, text, or send a tweet.
Yo, I remember Lancaster Catholic. I don't even know if this is legal. We had a whole 6'10" dude join the team halfway through the season. When I was in 11th grade, a whole 6'10" dude from Minnesota joined the team halfway through the season. Just so happened he was garbage. But like, I don't even know if that was legal, and nobody batted an eye. Like we were a team full of 5'8" and 5'9", and now all of a sudden we got a 6'10" person.
I don't want to call anybody out, but there was a period during our generation where Pat Mendez would transfer schools during the season to go where he wanted to go for that particular sport.
Yeah.
Like he transferred to Catholic for basketball, then transferred to Hempfield for basketball, then transferred back to McKenzie for football so we could start. Nobody batted an eye at those things.
Right.
He completed his entire high school career doing that.
Yeah.
And nobody questions that. But we're here to question the integrity of a young man who lost his mother.
Yeah.
Well, hold on. That's why the rule effect came into change in the 2018-2019 season, where after if you transferred, then you couldn't play in the postseason. Prior to having a notice put in 30 days prior to the postseason, you had to have something put in so that it could be determined and reviewed further. All right, so this rule change wasn't around back when we were in school. All right, so this is
fairly new.
Fairly new. Yeah, but it still was talked about though.
Yeah.
That's my thing. Like it still was talked about. I feel like Kenny has to take the blame for this, and he shouldn't have. Hey, you got Linville Hill. Play the game.
Right.
Play the game. They have 7 people.
Play the game.
7 people.
Play the game. And Linville Hill, they have been one of the loudest opponents of Lacademia and of Jerry from the beginning. And here's the thing,
go play in the private league.
Right. Like and also, it's just not Linville Hill. Like, because we have to bring in all the other high schools that are refusing to play Lacademia as well, because they have to travel an hour for every game, because none of the local high schools will play this high school. Now, mind you, they have no home court advantage, and then, which means that every game is a road game.
Right. Game.
And then you're traveling 45 minutes to 90 minutes as a 14, 15-year-old kid. Like when does it become about the kids and not some frivolous program that nobody's going to the league in 1A? Let's just be real.
For the most part, you might get one every 20 years.
Still district champions their second season in.
Right.
That's why
Yes.
it's so mad. That's why everybody's so mad.
Yes.
Or how can this new team full of people of color,
Right.
this coach of color, from a school of color like McCaskey,
Yeah.
how can he just come in here and win this league and make us look like nothing in this district?
This sounds like Glory Road. It sounds like Remember the Titans.
Irrelevant of everything he's accomplished up until now, right?
How about
Professional basketball player, Division I scholarship, has literally built Lacademia's program up for the past 4 years. They only started playing basketball 2 years ago. But he's been doing the work for a long time. This is a tragedy. It's disrespectful.
Hall of Fame on every level he touched. Every single level he touched. High school, college.
You're not going to expect him to be successful at this.
And it's just like yo, let's look at here's a former Hall of Famer professional athlete that is pouring into these kids, PIAA and the powers that be. That should be enough. Like that's what you want. You want people that have achieved athletically on every level to come down and pour into the kids, especially the most vulnerable kids. It would just make sense. Lady L, again, let's bring you in on this.
Again, I agree with this, standing up for the young people, right? Standing up for our children. And again, we often see this a lot of the times around schools and programming and things of that sort, that it stops becoming about the children and it starts becoming about the adults, right? I'm pretty sure it wasn't the teenagers that was complaining about the teenagers playing. I'm pretty sure it was the adults complaining about the children playing.
How about that?
I'm pretty sure it was the adults complaining. How are these kids so fast? How are these kids so strong? Oh, that was a charge when it really wasn't. Things of that sort. What we call microaggressions, but there's nothing micro about them. Aggressions. And this is what they did. They took those aggressions and they used them to get this child off the team.
Yeah.
And we as parents, this is the parents at the school board meeting yelling at the directors, telling them to do something. We need to stand up and not allow them to exploit this young man like this, to exploit these children. They come, they play ball. You have rules allowing them to enter district. You allow these things. And now you're upset that it's come to bite your children in the butt because they're kicking tail.
Right.
They're kicking tail. Now, I bet you if they were losing, nobody would be asking any questions.
I have where's McCaskey in this conversation? Are they helping advocate for La Academia? Where are those surrounding schools that really benefit from having a La Academia in your community, right? This is an actual school with offering different opportunities to kids. Where are you advocating? I get it. You might not like them as a basketball team, but at the very least, you have to believe they deserve the opportunity to play and prove themselves.
Right.
Right. So we have to be advocating for the rights of the sport, the righteousness of the sport. Where are you to stand up for your fellow coaches, for your fellow basketball players? We should be standing with them and trying to get them as much support as they need.
And at the end of the day, like this kid to have some kind of normalcy. I'm looking at the adults that made this decision to not have this kid play, to have some kind of normalcy. Let's have him play. Right. His mom just died. Let's have him play so that he can have some kind of normalcy
with all the conversation around mental health.
Right. Like this is somebody and it's just like Sha'Carri. This is somebody that has lost the person that gave them life. And as the adults, as the governing body of adults, they decided to punish this kid. What kind of PTSD is he going through right now where he gets punished?
And now he's not with his team.
Twice over,
not with his friends.
And now he has to deal with that. Basketball season over, and Jerry did say that he will be good enough to go on and play college ball. But still, like that's not an end all be all.
That's an exception. That's not the rule.
Exactly. Folks, keep them coming with the comments.
I did want to add something to it though. The school that did the complaining, going back to it, they have swept through their league. They swept through them.
And that's why.
But when they play La Academia, it's not even a competition. It's a blowout. I get it. You're mad. I don't get it as a parent or somebody on the board who would actually lodge this complaint, because just accept certain things.
You would want to compete with the best.
I get that.
You would want and their thing is, because they recruit, because they have the best of the best, they're so used to just mowing through. Oh, we're about to get our 17th district championship, and then here comes this black. I swear, I'm going to write a movie on this because this is a movie. Like this is.
It's definitely a movie.
Yes.
They got bombed by them last year, 62-48. As one of the times they played, and then 62-47. So yeah, that's why, you know. And I think they should have looked at that when they got the complaint.
Yes.
You know, with the team that lodged the complaint. Like, well, all right, well, let's look at this factor before we just tell these kids, hey, you can't play.
Right.
Hey, we know your mom died, but hey, sorry, can't play.
Disgusting. Lady L.
Yeah, I actually think that this is really unfortunate for this young man, and I'm glad to see that the coaches are advocating for him so that he can continue to, again, have some sort of normalcy in his life right now. With so much going on, we always want to kind of maintain consistency for our young people. So, yeah, I think that this is just a really unfortunate situation, and I am sad that this is happening, but I am not surprised that this is happening here in Lancaster County. I can't say that I'm surprised, you know. I know who my neighbors are. Do you, Sarge?
Right. So as this goes on, like, guys, reach out to your community. You know, for those in that community, you know, like, talk to them. You know, like, we have to remind our kids, like, it's like sports isn't the end all be all. You know, what kind of people, what kind of students are you creating? You know, we're trying to create better people as coaches, right? I feel like that's the job that you set out to do. You know, so I would hope that it wasn't like any staff. I would hope it wasn't the coaches, but yeah, I think it was though. You know, so and that's the sad part about it.
We have a question here. Rebecca asks, "What year of school is he in?" Referring to the basketball player. What year of school is he in? Rebecca, we are getting that for you right now.
He's a junior.
Yeah.
He's a junior. Oh man, so you know that this is the most importantest of years for him to be out on that basketball court. Yeah, so this is his junior year, Rebecca, as they are trying to hinder this young man playing ball. Guys, don't forget, it's going down this evening, Supper Club, hosted by our Black Lady Doctors. Yes, the fabulous ladies of Patients Are Waiting is hosting Dining with Dad. Now, again, there are no ladies in this space. It just so happens to be that there are just some awesome-tastic Black ladies who thought this would be a great idea. So Patients Are Waiting has partnered with My World Entertainment for Supper Club, which is a Dining with Dad experience. It's a monthly thing where gentlemen get together with children that they mentor or that are their children, and they come together and they have fun and they parlay. Again, I've never been, but listen, if your child has a dad, if they got an uncle, if they got a grandfather, if they have a man in their lives that has stepped up and helped them to make it to the next level of life, tell them about Supper Club and invite them to Dining with Dad going down this evening at I believe it's at 35 North Queen Street.
Yes. So folks, before we switch gears here, just want to point out some of the details that Lancaster Online said. It said that District 3 Executive Director Ron Kennedy said the matter came down to La Academia not filing the proper paperwork, but La Academia coach Jerry Johnson, the McCaskey legend who had a successful playing career at Rider and a long pro career overseas, disagree. The issue came about February 17th, 4 days before the District 3 1A tournament began. Kennedy said that it was when District 3 was alerted by a school that there were kids on La Academia's roster who were in question. Now, one of the insidious things here is that Linville, so that they wouldn't have to play La Academia in the first round of the playoffs, because this year for La Academia was a down year. They were 9-10. So Linville,
but they had a crazy power ranking schedule.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Linville, they had the number 1 seed. They had the number 1 seed. Lost by 42. No. I'm sorry. Let me backtrack. Lost by 8 to a team that they blew out earlier in the year by 42. So, hold that. Hold that. Lost by 8, but by a team they blew out by 42, just so that they wouldn't have to play La Academia in the first round. And then complained.
To get La Academia out of the playoffs.
Then complained when their plan didn't work. So folks, again, it's like when you're young, like when you're black, brown, and young, it seems like you learn, or this country forces you to fight racism and bias
in places it shouldn't be.
Right. In situations that shouldn't happen.
They create racist conversations.
No. And it's like to the people of Linville High School that like really think, okay, you did this. What was your game? Because I'll tell you this, the head coach, Millersville's not even going to hire you. All right. Nobody's going to the league, G League, or anything like that. Your best bet might be, and this is no, because the Red Rose Thunder would be too good for them. Like Linville, nobody.
You got a bunch of high school max outs.
Bunch of rec league legends.
Bunch of high school max outs.
Yeah.
And that's nothing against it.
Right.
But you're taking that opportunity away from guys who deserve to have that exposure.
Exactly.
Well, not just that, but also those boys from like Linville, like if you Sarge shared with us kind of like the structure of their education. So you have the choice at 8th grade to decide if you are done with your education. Right, so a 14-year-old in this community can say, you know what, I'm done, I'm gonna go into the working world. So that I'm just stating that I want you guys to get an idea of the type of community, because they're not raising ball players.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? They'll raise some football players, but they're not raising ball players. You see what I'm saying? Like they're not making sure that their boys are doing summer ball leagues and winter tryouts and going here and doing the AAU and all these other. No, they're just playing school ball, and that's the beginning and the end of it. They're not doing school ball, rec league, summer league. They're not doing any of that. They
do the
high school ball.
The seasonal sport. When it's track season, they're doing track. When it's football season, they're playing football.
Right. That's it. And the thing is that these, like they said, these kids aren't going to the league because they're not being trained to. Their mindset isn't ready to. They're being trained to go onto the farm. They're not being trained to be ball players. And yet this coach went out on the limb for his team of kids who aren't going to the league, of kids who probably aren't even going to go to college and don't need a ball scholarship to do it.
Well, the tuition alone for the high schoolers is over $7,000.
No.
The tuition alone for the high schoolers is over $7,000. That's a lot of money. Like, so if my kid's gonna play basketball, for me to pay $7,400 a year for my kid to go to school, I don't want him playing any good teams. Say it, no comp.
Lisa says, as a parent of an athlete, I signed a permission slip that the coach is responsible for my child throughout the season. So is that voided because his mom passed? And that's a great question. I mean, I really see this as just an exploitation.
It's predatory.
Of the rules. Exactly.
Why didn't they question anything about him sooner? You know what I mean? And maybe they were, but there was nothing credible to get. So now they probably continued asking questions. Yep. Well, what's up with this kid? What's up with that kid? Until they got one that stuck. It just feels terrible, man.
It does.
I feel horrible for the kid.
It does. And this is adults. This is adults showing their ASS,
putting their butts where kids should be.
Right.
It's like no matter what you said, like the racist talk always gets put into it.
Yep.
You know, like we have to look at it again. You know, like why?
Constantly. So folks, we are going to switch gears here. But first, want to add this to this story. There is a coach, because it's not like this is an isolated incident, because we see like racism and everything that happened at the basketball game at Cedar Crest. We saw what happened with Lancaster Catholic, and then here we see in Minnesota a basketball coach actually quit the team and ended the season. A girls basketball team, because he found she found a anonymous quote, anonymous note in her bag, saying "Get off our team, monkey," with monkey being underlined twice, and this was at Prior Lake High School. in Minnesota, and this coach has resigned. So bringing this up because racism is very prevalent in high school sports. Like it's not just a major league type thing, but this is even happening on the most lowest level, and to some of our most vulnerable people, which are our kids, our students. So it is very, very, very disheartening. Johnson, Damandi Johnson, the former girls coach, says that I will never sit down to racism, and I will always stand up for those who look like me. I hope that those involved can be educated, be held accountable, heal their hearts of hatred, and learn to love those who look different from them. So yeah. We're seeing how racism is really affecting high school sports. So Sabrina says, I hope that young man has local family to take him in and give him love and support so he can continue playing next year. So terrible that adults prove that they are the worst people. Excellent point. And to show how terrible of people we adults are, we are going to switch gears here and talk everything Russia and Ukraine. Now there's multiple layers to this story, which is why we had to bring in a special guest. So with us today we have Jess Mysterio. What's going on?
Hey, let's go.
Yes. Jess will be joining us in this conversation and has a bit of promo as well. So Jess, let's get to the promo. What is coming up?
Tuesday's Tacos and Talk.
Hey, let's go. So what can the people expect? What time does it start? Give us the deets.
Tomorrow, 6 p.m. at Got Jerked. I'm not loud enough.
Pull
it closer.
There you go.
Come on closer, baby. Here we go. But not tomorrow, 6 p.m. Tuesday's Tacos and Talks. Live poetry, networking, just a way for people to connect. The one thing I have learned is the power of networking and just the power of being in a room with somebody. All it takes is a single conversation to jumpstart anything.
Right.
I was at brunch the one day, met a lady, had a quick conversation, and we were at iHeartMedia a couple days later. Like, it literally just takes a conversation. I walked in to get burgers one time, started talking to the owner of the building, ended up with a brick and mortar space.
That's how it began.
That's how it started at the Rinse and Repeat. It literally just starts with a single conversation. So in my mind, if we can get a bunch of people in a room, like-minded ideas, business folk, people who just want to see change for the better of the city, anything could transpire. Let's try to stretch black and brown dollars. There'll be networking tracker sheets so everybody can write down all the information. Quick activities like who can get the most business cards? Who can draft the most emails? Like, let's not just have conversations, but actually exchange information. Make plans to support each other's businesses.
They're having these conversations and doing all this planning without us. So we need to start doing it for ourselves.
Right,
I love this idea.
There's other things that transpire like this, but they happen in different demographics. They're transpiring at different bars, different localities outside the city. So why, since they're not coming for us, let's create a space for us.
Dig it.
I'm excited.
Dig it. Love it. You know that we'll be there. We will be there.
Will be
Price season.
Come for the conversation. Stay for the tacos.
Right. And I will be celebrating my birthday.
Oh!
Starting tomorrow.
30
birthday.
30 days of birthday.
31 days.
31 days of birthday.
Hey.
Oh,
Good
it's
month.
a while.
It's
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
I get more days to celebrate my birthday than Black History Month. It's crazy, right?
Even on a leap year.
Yeah, right?
Love it. So, folks, again, everything Russia. We got our other guest. She'll be here in a little bit. Winnie O from the Harrisburg Young Professionals of Color. So she'll be joining us in this conversation as well. So, man, where to start? Well, we're going to start here. The Pennsylvania Liquor Control Board removes all Russian-made alcohol from their wine and spirits stores. So the Pennsylvania Liquor Control Board has removed all Russian-made products from the state fine wine and good spirits stores and licensed service centers, officials announced yesterday. That decision comes after Governor Tom Wolf urged the PCLB to remove the items as to show solidarity to the people of Ukraine. In a statement released Sunday, the PLCB clarified that some producers give their vodkas Russian-themed monikers and marketing because of the liquor's association with Russia, but are not actually made in the country. The PLCB said there are few products carried by fine wine and good spirits that are actually sourced from Russia. So that's just one little wrinkle. We're going to have Sarge give us the rest of the wrinkles.
All right, so this is kind of, it's like a symbolic gesture.
Mm-hmm.
You know, get everybody thinks, oh, Russian vodka. I need some of the vodka, you know.
This is more Uncle Ben.
All right, so in the last to get a perspective on it, in the last 52 weeks, those Russian-made products accounted for less than 1.1 million in sales, which is 0.06% out of more than 1.7 billion of total spirit sales, spokesperson Shelley Kelly told the Capital Star. All right, so with the international community coming together to punish Russia economically for its brutal invasion of Ukraine, the Commonwealth entered the fray over the weekend. Wolf issued his call early on Sunday afternoon. He said, I have joined with leaders across the nation and across the world in condemning these attacks and expressing support for the people of Ukraine. Wolf, a Democrat, said Sunday in a statement released by his office. He said, I appreciated the board's efforts to quickly identify Russian-sourced products currently being sold at fine wine and good spirit stores, Wolf continued. I urge the board to take these further actions as a show of solidarity and support for the people of Ukraine and an expression of our collective revulsion with the unprovoked actions of the Russian state. Like the Pennsylvania Turnpike Commission and the Pennsylvania Gaming Control Board, the Pennsylvania Liquor Control Board is a quasi-independent state agency. And while Wolf's words carry clout, and he can name some of the board's appointees, the final decision of pulling Russia's source products lies with the regulatory agency itself. So, in a statement, the trade association that represents Pennsylvania's bar and tavern owners said it has backed the administration's decision. All right, so we're going to talk about Ukraine a little bit.
Yeah, man.
I want to talk about Ukraine a little bit. All right, right there they said that we're backing the Ukrainian people. Okay, racism still shows its face. No days off, no wars off. In the middle of a war.
Yeah.
In the middle of in the middle of pure pandemonium, in the end of the world, the end of days. There was a video where in Ukraine, all the black people, the African students that were there, like they're being kept there. They're not allowed to leave. They're being pulled from trains, pulled from buses, and exchanged for people not of color.
Yeah.
And it's happening to all black and brown people, all people of color there. Like the migrant students. We do have a video. This is something that I don't know. It bugs me. Because I want to stand for Russia's a bully. Russia's being a bully. They're going in there. But is this Ukraine having to atone for its sins? Don't get me wrong. I don't think no innocent people should die.
Right.
I don't think that at all. You know, but
when you're racist,
yeah,
I don't know how innocent you might be.
Exactly.
Right. to give some background to what Sarge is talking about. There's an article from Blavity.com. Thousands of African students are stuck in Ukraine as the country finds itself under heavy Russian attack. While Russian tanks, planes, and ships continue to bombard several cities in Ukraine, flights have been grounded and African governments have been unable to help their students. This is from a Reuters report. The African students represent various countries, including Morocco, Nigeria, Ghana, and Egypt. Many of them are studying medicine, engineering, and military affairs. The students went to Ukraine to find a cheaper alternative to studying in Western Europe or the United States. But now they find themselves in a war zone. In a situation like this, you're on your own. You've got to find the best way to find refuge for yourself. And this comes from one of the students who are speaking by phone, hiding in a basement bomb shelter. So while some students are trying to find shelters, others are looking to flee. In Kyiv, where Russian bombs have been dropping on the city, a group of Kenyan medical students have been trying to leave. The Kenyan students rushed to Kyiv's train station on Friday, hoping to board a train to the western city of Lviv, then cross the border into Poland, from where they can return. They say that it is really, really bad. Everyone is fleeing the city. The students said they only brought their documents and left everything else behind. We can't carry luggage. Luggage will lag us behind. And they are saying that reality is just now hitting them, that they may not go home anytime soon. And there are more than 16,000 African students stuck in Ukraine right now. So, folks, this is a dire situation on multiple fronts. There's those African students. There's basketball players like Shabazz Napier, who just got back here safely from playing in Russia. So again, just multiple layers of this story. So let's get into the reasoning why. But first, yeah, go ahead.
Cause this whole Ukraine thing is like, I'm trying to wrap my head around everything, right? And it's like I hate people because you wanna help everybody, right?
Right.
And learning about the situation slowly, cause I don't know much about Ukraine. It makes me sad that all this is going on and they're still being. Right. Like I literally just had a conversation with a woman yesterday that was on the Romanian border. Like I met a man yesterday whose parents are over there trying to get people out and get people across the border. And I had a conversation with this lady that's at the Romanian border yesterday. And like I want to try to figure out how to send medical supplies, and then you wake up in the morning and you're like, oh, they're not letting black people go and ripping people off of buses and trains, and it's like,
it's wild.
It's from back when I first went to combat in 2005 to 06 over in Iraq. Like, it was different. Our first firefight wasn't recorded. You know, I mean, we recorded it for our own for our own reasons. You know, like we had cameras, we had iPods, not even iPods at the time. I think they were what are them called?
Zooms.
Yeah, little Zoom. Yeah, you know. So we had all them things, and you know, in today's war, we're able to watch it. It's being live streamed. Like, we're watching soldiers get captured. There was a Russian major that was captured, and with this major being captured, like they gave him a call with his mom. You know, I want to look and check out the factual basis on it, but they had him like talking to his mom. You know, like what are you doing in Russia? You know, or what are you doing in Ukraine? And he's like, we got the orders. We just had to come. Like, you know, so I feel like the Kremlin's really doing this. You know, like he's kind of doing it with the people, his oligarchs that he has in power.
Right.
You know, and that's why we keep sanctioning. That's why NATO's doing something they haven't done ever. Like I want to say ever.
Yeah, first time ever. Yep,
first time ever getting a tactical response team together to do what? To go into Ukraine and do what? push Russia out.
Right.
All right, they're having peace talks in Belarus right now, but the Belarus gave gave Russia the foot in the door. Like, go, you guys come through here. Go ahead.
It's a puppet government.
Yeah, like that's you know what, to put it in the words of this, like if it was the Game of Thrones, that's like the Twin Rivers situation.
Yep.
You know, hey, we gotta cross your bridge. Sure, come on, let's go.
Them people's really real though. Let me chime in and say this.
Who?
Them Ukrainian people.
Oh yeah.
That's
they're
real
real.
serious
Oh,
over
yeah.
there. Oh yeah,
they're
that's
real.
real serious over there.
Yo, when I seen that Miss Ukraine picked up a rifle and said, if you come across this border, I'm gonna kill you.
Yeah.
Their beauty queen, their president.
Yeah.
Like, yo, everything, and all racism aside, they are what America lies and says we are. Like, that home of the brave stuff,
Yeah.
if that happened in America, people ain't doing that.
Oh, there's a video. There's
Our
a
president
video
ain't doing that.
of this old lady screaming at the Russian soldiers, you know, saying, put these sunflower seeds in your pocket. Put these sunflower seeds in your pocket so that when you die, seeds can grow. Like,
Yeah,
ooh.
that's kind of bars.
Ooh, yeah.
That was
Bars.
When you die on our soil, these flowers can grow. Like, put these in your pocket. I was like, ooh, chill. I'm getting chills now because, like, yes, that passion and everything. And for Ukraine, there's no, like, you know, this side, they're all on this side. It's like, no, this is wrong.
This is Ukraine, y'all Russia.
Right. Whereas here, like, you see sympathizers with people that are like, oh, well, you know,
Putin's a genius.
Right. If Putin set up shop in Mexico, then we would invade Mexico. Like, whoa, wait, what? So like it's just insane. It is insane. So to give you all some background here on the situation that is playing out right now. It started with Putin wanting to demilitarize Ukraine. Prior to the attack, Putin announced that he was setting in motion a special military operation in Ukraine that included explosives around their capital city. Putin asserted that he was not trying to occupy the country, but instead wants to demilitarize it. Also, Putin was concerned that Russia was going to join the EU. The Russian president despises the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, better known as NATO, a military alliance formed in 1949 by the United States, Canada, and other Western nations after World War II. NATO, which now includes Central and Eastern Europe nations that were once Soviet states, indicated that former Soviet states Ukraine and Georgia could also join. The proposal irked Putin, who declared it a threat to Russian security. Also, Ukraine has been contemplating joining other forces with other alliances, including the EU. So in 2014, the U.S. provided military aid to Ukraine after Russia seized Crimea. If you all remember that Crimea annex and Russia assuming that. Putin is on a mission to reestablish the Soviet Union as a world power and regain its political and economic standing. He intends to gain the economic resources of Ukraine's industrial and agricultural division. Putin also sees Ukrainians and Russians as one people, and said that the West manipulated Ukraine to remove its Russian identity. The Russian president's comments have since appeared to ignore Ukraine's sovereignty. Russia also, as we know, had placed over 200,000 troops on the border of Ukraine. Folks, again, it is unraveling here in real time. Sarge, let's get your military take on this. And as you prepare for that, we have two comments. LaRock says, first, Ukraine has been known as a training ground for white supremacist subversives for years upon years. I did not know that. Thanks for that information. And then Rebecca says, haha, I'm going to use that. And then says, I shared a meme that said, notice how Ukrainian patriots are defending their capital instead of attacking it. How about that? And then we have another comment from LaRock, but we will get to that after Sarge's comment. Sarge.
See, let's talk about how Ukraine wasn't a part of NATO. All right, we can look at that. And like you guys really thought you could hold, like, you guys they're holding their own, but this is why we need these agreements. We need a NATO. We need a world power. America, we spend how much money a year, like, on our military, on our defense budget?
How about that?
All right, we're considered one of the most powerful militaries in the world. We are the most powerful. Russia's ranked second behind us. And we see what they're struggling up against right now. You can't go into somebody's country and expect the truth. Like, you would think they would have learned from way back when they went in Afghanistan. All right, when the Soviets went in Afghanistan, they had no idea what they were going to do in Afghanistan, kind of like us in Iraq, or us in Afghanistan.
and yo, on that note, like this situation has even brought out George Bush, the W. He said, you can't just go invading countries like that. The W said this. Mr. Iraq has weapons of mass destruction. He was like, you just can't. And this is serious. It's a serious quote. Lady L, before we bring you in on this, we have this comment from LaRock. He said, second, can we close out Black History Month celebrating that? Half the month has been convoluted by white people fighting and attempting to oppress white people. We knew this was going to happen. This is colonization. Maybe white folks need to taste their own medicine. Unfortunately, their hysterical misdeeds made them think it would be us. Are Ukrainians fighting to help black people? Have they ever? Not a few folks that are here, but actually large swaths of the country. Go ahead. I'll wait.
You know what Ukraine's going to do? They have 15,000 Indian people there, like, that they're holding there. Along with the African people, along with the other black and brown people. What are they going to do for them?
Right.
Grab weapons if you want to live and leave our country. Right. They're going to turn them into soldiers, Yeah. So where they were, these
that becomes a form of slavery, bro. Like, I'm not.
It does. Like, NATO has to do something. That's why NATO has to do something. NATO has to fight. And these people still need to be held accountable for this at the end of it. Absolutely. Like, they still need to be held accountable for war crimes for what? Yeah. It's not right. It's on some I don't know, I want to say Nazi Germany type, that Nazi Germany type vibe when it comes to that. So, like, because what's going to happen after Russia leaves? Who are you guys going to turn your anger towards? Right. The people that you were just saying are taking your jobs prior to this happening? It goes back to what? Then you have everybody here, and it's kind of free run right now. So kill who you want.
Right. Lady L.
My question is, what were the Africans doing when they knew Russian was coming? That's what I want to know. What were y'all all doing over there when you knew Russia was coming? We're a million miles away in America, and we knew Russia was coming, and we were like, yeah, y'all got to go. And what were y'all doing? There's a lot of medical students out there. There are a lot of Africans who go to Ukraine to get their medical licenses and everything like that. So my concern is, you guys all knew that it was happening. The racism that happens in Ukraine is not new. We're seeing it now because somebody videotaped it and put it online because there's a war going on. This is stuff that always goes on all the time. I remember having conversations in high school with my peers because I used to always wonder if black people were in Russia and Ukraine. Like, I'd be like, are there black people there? Like, and they're like, yes, they come from Africa.
Yes.
And they speak different African languages, and some of them learn Russian, right? And that was when I learned, like, oh, there are black people in that part of the world.
In my mind this morning, there was only white people in Ukraine.
Yeah.
Really, this is like, my head is like, right now, because in my mind there was only white people in Ukraine.
Nope. I think some of our African brothers and sisters need to take some of our foundational American African anger and get some of that on, because y'all a little bit too nice. Go ahead, Sister Winnie, because she like, hold on.
Put her hand up and everything.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes. We got Winnie O here from Young Professionals of Color, Harrisburg.
Yes.
Yes, here to enlighten y'all as we go in on white supremacy and just, show love for the diaspora.
Amen.
Yes.
Amen. Yeah, I literally just posted that context on the African Engineering News platform, and it was right because that's the question a lot of people are asking. It's like, what are all these Africans doing in Ukraine? First of all, right now they've been pushing. Let me rephrase. A lot of these external to Africa nations have been pushing for greater diversity. Come join our programs because they have really low numbers of doctors, of nurses, of all this medical aid, plus international student representation, right? Because that's also part of how their folks learn all these other different cultures. If you can't go to these countries, they bring these folks to them. And so, even here, a lot of people do international study abroad, and that's part of it. And so when we ask, well, where were they? Why didn't they know all these stuff, right? It goes back to understanding the context of what were they doing there in the first place. Oftentimes they're just trying to get a job, trying to make money, because the employment rates, especially for young people back home, is atrocious. Atrocious. So these opportunities seem better than trying to go to some of our Arab nations, and you know what happens. The trends. A lot of African nations, I know Kenya included, has pretty much banned folks going to the Dubais and stuff like that, right? Because of the things that have been happening. And so then these medical internship medical programs where they're just come over, we'll certify you, we'll train you, all this stuff. And then now also we hear people well, we blame these African leaders, African governments, for not stepping in for us, because we saw the same thing when what happened? When COVID started.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
Connect the dots, where our African leaders were quiet AF until it gets really bad. Then our people are like, yo, we need you to do something. This is where you have embassies around and near here. So these folks been MIA, and our folks are we ain't got money to leave right now. We don't have the means. It's a resources thing where those who have privilege and access and power get to leave first, right? And then those who don't get to be subjugated and be you get to do this thing that you don't want to do because you don't have the option to leave. So, yeah.
Well, you know what? I guess it's kind of positive because the Ukrainian officials are giving out guns.
Yeah.
To anybody who wants it.
Right. And that's a whole situation. That's crazy, because what I thought about was them kicking black people off the train. I've seen images of what looked like an entire Amtrak station filled with people with no train, just everybody on the platform just waiting. And I am hoping that these African nations, that they step up, that the embassies step up, that they do something to get their citizens out of the country, because that's usually the idea and the expectation that no matter where I go, my government will make sure that I'm okay. Some sort of sense of entitlement.
Yeah. But outside of NATO and outside of America, there's how many other countries? So it's why does everything fall on us?
Oh, because America's big brother. You didn't know that?
We are, but we ain't.
We as citizens, we ain't, because us and the government are never on the same page.
I know, but our country picks and chooses. If you don't got something we want, we ain't coming to save your ass.
Yo, can you please, can we circle on that for 2
seconds?
Yeah,
go ahead.
Because on the same time we getting real candid here today. On the same time that the U.S. is quiet on Ukraine, on some level I can understand, because it would be hypocritical, because dude, y'all just bombed Somalia 2 weeks ago.
You know what? You know why? You know why no one cares? Because there are no African countries in NATO. There are no African countries in NATO.
No African countries in NATO.
We say representation.
Right.
We have no representation on this stage. Yes. So why there's no force that's going to say, hey, let's go protect black people.
You see how
this is why we need a Wakanda.
We do have the African Union, so that my thing is, dear African Union, where y'all at? Pull up.
She said pull up.
We have, oh man, hurt my whole heart.
But you see, NATO didn't, when Africa was going through all of that and the genocide and the murders, and NATO didn't do nothing. They sent peacekeepers over there to be peacekeepers and just stand there.
Right.
They weren't even allowed to defend themselves. We all watched Hotel Rwanda. Like,
Yeah.
they weren't even allowed to defend themselves.
Yep. I'm trying to say, listen, Africa gonna lose its minds when the foundational Africans come back. When we get back there, y'all gonna lose y'all minds, right? Because if you think about, they had their own maps of Africa that told you the type of Africans that you were going to kidnap or that they could kidnap for you, right? So if you needed somebody who knew about rice and agriculture, you're going to go further north. If you're looking for somebody that does a little bit more with like water and things like that, you're going to go a little bit more west, right? And they had a map. You're looking for this, you go over here. You want somebody big, go to Mandika a little bit further north. You want somebody, that's what they did. They had a whole map, and I promise you I'm going to bring the people to Lancaster so y'all can see it. But when they did that, they took a number of us, millions of us, brought us all over here, and now there's a whole missing lineage of black people from Africa. That's just what it is. We're just a missing link. And when we get back over there and we start acting a fool with our American privilege, we're going to turn Africa into the nation that we always believed it could be, right? But there's just a level of energy, a level of mindset that needs to be a little bit different going over there and moving forward so that we can really have the diaspora that we've all been hoping for and have conversations about in our kitchen.
Folks, want to let you know that you are listening and watching TCP in the morning, brought to you by Penny.com. Penny.com, Pennsylvania's #1 healthcare marketplace. If you have not seen the Penny.com Penny Health Minutes with this young debonair brother right here, I suggest you go on ahead and learn yourself something about Penny.com and healthcare, where 9 out of 10 Pennsylvanians qualify for some kind of financial assistance. Folks, we want to welcome you back if you if you have continued listening to us, and if you are just joining us now, we want to welcome you to TCP in the morning. We are having our discussion on everything Russia and Ukraine right now. Russia previously placed its troops on Ukraine's border. Last fall, Russia deployed troops on the border of Ukraine and Belarus, a former Soviet nation supporting Russia. This is according to U.S. News. Putin said the positions of the soldiers were being used for training exercises. The U.S. now believes that Russia has up to 200,000 soldiers in or near Ukraine. This is what the New York Times reports. And finally, the United States and its allies saw the move as a potential invasion, but Putin gave a speech to communicate his reasons for his hostility against Ukraine. He said that Ukraine's leaders were oppressing its Russian-speaking citizens and was sowing seeds of discord and hatred against Russia, all of which have been found to be not true.
Which is crazy for me, because Russia has been sowing the seeds of deception and misinformation here in America, and we ain't got no energy for that. We don't have no energy for that. And he's been doing this, and it was an established plan and strategy starting in 2014.
Yeah.
This ain't new. Yep. We're here where we are in terms of racial tensions and political discourse because of Russia. And he's utilizing that strategy to demolish Ukraine.
Yeah.
Demolish Ukraine. We need to have that same kind of energy that Putin is creating with Putin.
Yeah.
Well, hold on, because now you're asking Anglo-Saxons to be equally as aggressive with other Anglo-Saxons, and we usually don't see that too often. It's usually an Anglo-Saxon and a brown person.
Oh, you go on World Star and type in.
I'm talking about in terms of an imperial empire nation fighting each other.
British in the UK.
I mean, did we just have Brexit like 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, like it's out there. It's just not covered like it is for us.
Yeah.
You know, you'll see your Hotel Rwanda movies and all of that, but you won't see the issue that went on with the Irish and the British.
Yeah.
You know, so Winnie, let's bring you in on here, because you calling and responding like the church. I love it.
Well,
I can't help it.
Hey, that's all right. That's all right.
Glad you're here.
Right.
We need that energy.
Yeah. So please chime in.
Yo, fam. Like, for me, I'm just like, as he said, it's the same playbook, right? Same-ish, different day. where it really reminded me of WMDs. The whole we have
about
done
that
our
earlier, yeah.
we did the quick quote, and we've been told, somebody said there's weapons of mass destructions over there, so this is the justification we're going to use to go over yonder and stay for 20 years and make things worse when we leave.
Yeah.
You know, so.
Yeah, but they weren't Anglo-Saxons attacking Anglo-Saxons.
What talking about? We've seen Vikings.
Vikings.
I watch Vikings.
But the thing is, let's be honest, white on white crime is definitely something that does need to be elevated more, because we've seen the narrative is always, center this black on black crime or black on white crime. I mean, I'm really simplifying it. I'm super simplifying it here because I want people to understand.
I think you're trying to say that crime is a proximity.
It's a
thing.
proximity issue.
It's about who you're around. You're going to victimize who you're around.
Right,
it's very
right.
simple.
That's the art of war. Like
Right.
you're not. It's easier to fight the person who's proximal to you, who happens to be your brethren or sisterin. So that's that.
With that being said, listen, when you hear racism's over, let's talk about black on black crime. There's a reason you probably get punched in the face.
Every school, like every mass shooting, well, all right.
What about black on black crime? Shut up!
Like majority of mass shootings, you know, should be considered white on white crime.
Yes.
Like the shooter in Denver, Newton, and
all those mass shootings, Aurora, Colorado.
Right.
That
It's
should
like
be.
isn't that white on white crime?
Yeah.
But we paint it under the guise
We only had
of
one
mass.
black school shooter kid, and that was because they was robbing and jumping him, and he was tired of it. So it's like,
And they avoided that whole part of the story. They
Right.
just made about, the black kid brought it. And it was like, really? Like,
like,
y'all
yes,
imposed
finally,
all
got
these
one.
white kids years after years.
Yes.
Right.
They still talking about the DC sniper.
Oh, my-
You see black people do it.
Right.
DC sniper.
Like the one token.
They keep using him. They keep using the DC sniper. Like,
It's
you only got one.
tokenism. It's just tokenism.
Gary, good morning, Uncle Gary.
Uncle Gary.
Gary says, good morning. The USA is not the boss. Just be grateful that POTUS Joe, President Joe Biden, knows about foreign policy. How many of you remember when Joe Biden, the chairman of the Senate Committee on Foreign Relations, Frank Church, and Egyptian President Anwar Sadat, after the signing of the Egyptian-Israel peace treaty in Washington in March 1979? Uncle Gary, I'll be
None of
very
us.
candid with you.
None of
I
us.
don't know.
I don't think any of us were alive.
Nothing about that. That was a couple years before I was that sparkle in my father's eye. But we'll definitely read up on that. You are always dropping nuggets of knowledge that we appreciate. So we will read up on that so that we can be more in the know and have a conversation just about that. So again, folks, everything here, Russia. Let's bring Sergeant. What were you going to say?
I forget, but I'm going to remember. What I did want to say is, black representation again, Liberia. Liberia was created by who? I mean, it wasn't created by the Americans. We went over there, took over the land, and said, hey, listen, we're going to give you...
And that was a whole situation in itself.
Yeah, exactly. It was a whole ship back. And up until the 90s, military real close together, economy close together, everything was good. Then all of a sudden, ties are just kind of severed now. No, it don't need to be severed now. Right now, we need to reunite them ties, if anything. Because why not? Why not? Why can't we go to Africa? All right. Why isn't Liberia part of NATO? All right. Why aren't they a state? Why isn't Liberia a state? Like, we can talk about it now. Why isn't it a state? Like, America went over there and deemed Liberia, we know you're a country already, but right now it's going to be our country now.
Oh, because
There are already people living there.
Though, but there
are already people living there. Like,
I mean, that would be
but
like.
you know that's what we do, right?
Exactly. I was gonna say like that's they pretty much right. That it's literally it's the Ukraine thing, similar, where they're like, oh, we know you already exist and you got people here. They literally Columbus Liberia.
yeah, they gentrified it. Right. They were gentrifying way before. Oh man.
LaRock, he says, how long did that treaty last? Screw Joe Biden. If your homeland policy is trash, your foreign policy is trash, period. Like, did we really just bring up Mr. 94 Crimes Bill in a conversation about oppressive systems? Ooh.
Oh, he's been in that conversation.
Sounds like we having a debate.
You know, I think that where Putin kind of made this miscalculation. I really, as I'm looking at the stories and looking at the news reports and everything, and I'm seeing some similarities with Afghanistan and what went on with Afghanistan, and I really think that Afghanistan and the Taliban taking over Afghanistan in such a little amount of time when the U.S. left, I think that put a battery in Putin's back, and it was like, oh well, if these sand N-words can topple the government, in 2 weeks, then guess what I can do
half the time.
Right, I should be able to do this. Not thinking like, all right, like the Taliban, that's still their people. That is still their people. Like, however much you want to say Ukrainians are Russians, they're not.
They're not identifying as that anyway.
Right. They're not. It's a whole other culture. It's a whole other situation when you insert yourself in there. So it wasn't going to be the same kind of situation with Afghanistan because it was their people that really have been working on the inside
to keep it.
Right.
I think the Kremlin's going to have he already told his nuclear team, his nuclear force team, to be ready to go. And with them doing their thing, you got North Korea still shooting off missiles. Yeah. And you got Japan doing some things too. Like there's so many different things going on. Like you have to stay tuned to what is going on.
Yes.
All right, stop being mute. Listen, we know you got 7 different things you pay to watch movies and stuff on. All right, use the live. Use the live, all right?
That part.
Like,
China is purchasing. China is purposely purchasing Russian products to help fund their situation. So it's not just
let's first of all, we got a whole situation with China and we didn't even address their racism and what they did to the Africans when COVID or Kung flu had happened. That was a whole.
Can we circle on that?
They're
for
still
2
doing
seconds?
it.
That's still a whole situation, and it's not. And the whole living situation over in China is something different because they own the land and the space. And man, you want to talk about living in 5 cubic square feet? Go to China, okay? But I did just want to make a note, just talking about our African brothers and sisters, because I know some of you don't know all of the countries that are there, but I do want to address some of the countries with majority students in the Ukraine come from Morocco. Yes, that is in Africa. Nigeria and Egypt. And then there's about 10 other countries in Africa with students currently in the Ukraine, totaling about 16,000 people that are over there in the country. And it's unfortunate because a lot of the African students currently are feeling desperate and abandoned. There was a tweet that went out that says, "We would love to go back home. We can't get the airports are closed. We are evacuating from city to city and trying to leave the country on foot or by car. As foreigners in this country, we do not know what will happen next, but God will never leave us, not now." And that comes from a Nigerian student who is currently stuck in Ukraine.
Ukraine might end up actually having some problems with these Africans that are standing over there. They might end up taking up arms with Russia.
Arms against them.
This is a very serious issue.
Like,
sorry, Whitney. I'm sorry.
No. I'm glad you said something. Because to me, again, right, as an African, to me, it hits home in a very interesting way because I really empathize with the fact that, right, they left one place in search of a better life in another place where they went to in hopes that, this is going to lead to a better opportunity, a better life outcome to support my family for all these reasons. It turns out, no, now you're literally trying to fight for your life to get to the next day. And then, right, this is literally, that's how I'm like, racism takes 0 days off. Even in the face of total annihilation. They will still room for racism.
Wait, black kid,
like,
get him
off! What? I was like, dang.
In my mind, though, I'm trying to figure out who says I'm gonna move to Ukraine.
Well, first of all, I'm not going nowhere cold. But maybe because they've been somewhere hot, they like, oh, I'm open to the cold, and we've been here, and I'm like, there's no way.
I'm like,
I'm staying in the cold.
To wrap my mind around the fact that
Go ahead,
Winnie.
Winnie. What you got?
I know Ukraine. So, what black person woke up one day and was like, I'm gonna go to medical school in Ukraine?
Well, actually, it's quite cheaper than Europe and the United States. That's why they're going.
It's costs and access, right? Because we have a lot of folks who graduated with great degrees but can't find jobs at home.
Yeah.
Because all this stuff surrounds resources and economic advancement, right? Because it's all about money.
Yes.
Whether internal, external, it's about money. And until, again, I'm going to call out our African leaders. Until y'all start really repping for us and riding for us out here in these streets, like, these folks, and you know who I'm talking about, these folks going to keep looking at Africans like, all right, it's whatever. But the good thing is, thank you. I'm so glad that the African diaspora outside of Africa is more solidified, because there's something about getting out of Africa, the continent, and realizing, oh crap, you're simply African, or you're simply black. Nobody's gonna sit there and be like, excuse me, are you black, or are you like from the motherland?
Right.
What country are you from? Before I call you this word, before I call you this word, or before I treat you like this, all they see from the get go is the casting of color. And then until they get to know you, then they'll be like, oh no, you're Kenyan, you're American, you're this. I'm like, and those stereotypes will go with you. So at the end of the day, brethren and sisterin out there, remember, the first thing folks gonna see us is what? Black. That's the thing that unites us all. That's the thing that at the end of the day, when you're being discriminated, subjugated in these communities that look nothing like you, that's the first thing they see. They're not going to judge you because you're Nigerian, because you're Moroccan, because you're Kenyan or South African. It's because you're black. It's because of the melanin in your skin. Everything else comes afterwards.
Right. And that's crazy, because now there are students in Nigeria, not in Nigeria, but Nigerian students who have actually what they're doing, they're identifying other African students, and they are making like WhatsApp chat groups and keeping in communication with each other. And then they're also doing crowdsourcing to raise money to try to find ways to get out of the Ukraine and find a way to get home, or just get to a neighboring country of safety. They actually call it community mobilization among the African students. So shouts out to them. There's about 500 of the 16,000 students that they have been able to identify in the Ukraine. Right, so that it's heartwarming that they are trying to reach out to each other, connect with each other, especially when the embassy in Kyiv has not been getting back to none of the African students.
Yep. And thank you for saying that, and thank you for shouting that out. First of all, I know I don't know the reach of this platform, but please, out there, if you know folks who are saying they're willing to take folks in, please do share. Please do tag TCP. Okay, because I've gotten tagged for a couple of things where at least I see one person on the Twitter. They're like, hey, if there's any Kenyans in Ukraine crossing the border to Slovakia or elsewhere, please let them know to get in contact. Folks are now individually. They're like, yo, if our governments, if our embassies are not doing something, I have a place. Like, people are individually starting to be like, hey, I'll open my home, I'll open my space. Reach out. So that, I guess, on the bright side, on a good note, that's the good thing about technology now, social media, right? Yeah. Where we're able to have these grassroots mobilization where we ain't waiting for other people to come save us, because we know ain't nobody coming to save us.
Right.
Black Lives Matter. Still.
Like. Absolutely. This comes from the Independent. Scores of African migrants in Ukraine are being blocked from fleeing to safety as Russians attack continue to devastate the country. Those trying to make border crossings have told the Independent that they are living in regions that are in shambles. They feel abandoned, and for a lot of them, they are walking to the borders of Poland because they aren't country people. If it can show its face in that, then yes, it's going to show its face in HR. Yes. It's going to show its face in the classroom. It's going to show its face in the White House.
Yes.
You know,
and it's really unfortunate because actually what we are getting is that we did kind of address this a little bit about how they're trying to get on buses and trains to get to Poland and some other neighboring countries. So black people who have been able to get on those buses and trains, once they get off, now the Polish government is not allowing them into the country. There are some people that they are saying that they are going to let in, but without a visa, you can only stay there for 15 days. This is crazy.
What?
And also, they have threatened to shoot Africans getting off the buses and trains if they don't stay on the Ukrainian side of the border. And so they're prioritizing Ukrainians. They say it's Ukrainians first, which is why they want them on the buses, on the trains, and letting them into Poland. But yeah, there actually was a tweet that came out that says, actually one of the Africans says, they tweeted, says, watch how they are threatening to shoot us. They were streaming live on their Twitter account saying, we are currently at the Ukraine-Poland border. Their police and army refuse to let Africans cross. They only allow Ukrainian. Some have slept here for 2 days under this scorching cold weather, while many have gone back to live.
So how do we organize to force them to help them? Like that's the thing.
And I think that's the thing, right? Because I'm kind of curious. I want to know if black Africans, like if black African Americans were there stranded, if it would be the same thing, or would the concern for the pushback of the American government put you in some sort of fear that we better let these types of black people in? Go ahead, Winnie.
See, this is one of the beauty of comedy, right? Comedy is oftentimes very reflective of society and comes back like time and time again. Remember when I believe it was Dave Chappelle who did the skit about in that season it was if the terrorists had to take a hostage and they took a black person to and they called the White House. Yep. It was like, we have to take back. But to take Susie May because she's going to be the perfect phrase for victimization and I am come help me, or Johnny, whoever, because the African American government is like, we will come get you, whatever, we will not rest. But whereas even locally, right? When you remember, I love Dave Chappelle's skits when he was like the little black girl was kidnapped and made it back home before dinner in the news, whereas the white kid is lost for
you're gonna have to take me more than 3 miles away from my house.
Yes.
That's 3 stop signs, man.
It goes back to show how we care or prioritize black and brown bodies. We don't get no airplay. Number one, we wouldn't get the airplay, right? Even with trafficking, human trafficking, we get no play. Yep. Yet, somebody who's less melanated gets all the play while, all folks are suffering. So if they can't do that stuff, if they can't come for us while we're here locally, you think they're going to send an airplane and risk their folks all the way across yonder for your melanated behind?
Y'all better let them know that maybe if y'all let them know Meghan Markle is with you all, they going to show up.
Well, she got to let her hair net back up.
Just white enough.
Well, what I heard, I heard that saving Private Ryan would never be Saving Private Tyrone.
It would not.
Because they wouldn't risk their lives. Private Tyrone was a good man.
Thanks for your service.
Right?
You did a good man.
Casualties of war, guys.
Right?
It happens.
Soldiers die every day, B.
No, I've
Sorry.
I got nothing. Got nothing.
I feel like we were piling on a little bit.
I was thinking. I'm like, wait.
And let's be
I'm like, wait. Me and my little brother. They sent us. We were both over. I got kids. All right.
And let's be honest. I also want to acknowledge the fact that, and as much as we're laughing about it, it's literally at this point, it's like we just have to keep laughing to keep from crying because this ish is real. It is real. Folks are dying and people don't care.
That's a fact.
Yes.
Personally and nationally.
Right. And it's crazy because so what a lot of countries are doing is trying to suffocate Russia by stopping its flow of financial capital, right? So that's what the plan is. So they're trying to stop the money coming in. So sports teams are saying we're not going. There's a lot of money in sports. And now we have, the Liquor Control Board here in Pennsylvania saying, hey, let's not sell their liquor. So there are other countries trying to do very similar things to not get money into Russia and its people. Now, my concern with that is they already got their money. They've already made their plan. I'm pretty sure this was a part of it. But what do you think about, hindering their financial capital as a means of stopping them? Do you think that that's feasible?
No. And I'm still with the whole Ukraine thing, I still think they should have closed the airspace. Like, that would have stopped them. Close the airspace. They're on the grounds fighting.
Who?
They got Granny Sue out there with the sunflower seeds. I'm telling you, them people can take care of themselves. Like, their president's on the front line. So it's like, if NATO or other countries really cared, they would have closed that airspace and gave them a fighting chance.
Yes. I mean, it doesn't matter. Didn't they hit the Kyiv airport?
Yeah. They're working their way. They're still trying to get there. They're right outside. But what I do want to say is the Russian. We don't want to target the Russian people in general, because they don't represent the Kremlin doesn't represent that country.
Right.
All right. Let's get that out the way, okay? And he's kind of he is what a king, what a tyrant is.
Yeah.
Prior to him getting in office.
And nobody assassinated him. Like, this man was a part of a criminal drug ring for years, and these people voted him in, or however they did it the first time around. Umpteen years ago, he got voted in, and then he didn't get voted in, and then they voted again and voted him in.
Time off, yeah.
It's a mess. I'm sorry. There's no way that I'm going to say that the citizens aren't partially responsible for him being in charge.
The votes, he has been cheating every election.
He's been in power since
going this way.
1991.
He's been killing his he's been killing his opposition since 91, not his opposition, since 93.
Thank you.
All right, he took a time out, and when he took that time out, the guy that was in before him, the guy that groomed him, came into office. All right, and then so he's like, all right, well, now I got to take this. He became the prime minister, so still was in charge of everything. Yeah. Only to come back into power, become the Kremlin again. Yeah. And it's a lifetime appointment now because he's never going away until he dies.
While he was out, he actually got them to change the rules so that he could be a lifetime president.
The reason he's doing this right now is because he's in his 70s. He's good, bro. He's in his 70s. He's getting older. He's knowing his time is coming up. His life is coming to an end. What impact did he have? What did he do differently than anybody else? He invaded a country twice. He already sent out a hit team after the president of Ukraine. They were wiped out before they even got close. Yeah. So kudos to Americans for sending over stuff over there so they can have our technology to protect themselves. But these are things
until they get upset with us for leaving them high and dry, and then they turn back to attack us in 20 years. It kind of happened before with something called ISIS, but hey, we're not talking about that today.
But what I was getting at, the Russian people, they're protesting, and you know what it's like to protest in Russia. All right, they arrested 5,000 people were detained in Russia for protesting. You know what? We should have got this security detail down at the insurrection. We would have got all them people at one time. All right, I want to know what the security detail this was. All right, for them to arrest that many people.
Our Republicans might be looking at Putin like, he managed to get in power, keep all his power. We need him on our team.
But that's why Trump liked him so much.
And that's why you see so many Republicans endorsing him. They love his model. They love what he's doing.
Yeah. Devon, he says, good morning, family. Good morning to you.
Brother
He says, this chess move is horrible. There's so much parity in this war. Taekwon says, love that Chappelle bit. And then Devon says, 400 killed, 123 children, 1,267 injuries. Sabrina says they will hurt Russian citizens before the oligarchs feel even an inkling of financial struggle. That is so true. Devon says it's not that simple. And Rebecca says the news said their financial valuation dropped 30% after the first day, but the Russian economy was already trashed. So what's it really hurting them? And then Devon says he's an ex-KGB. warlord, drug dealer, assassination. This is all he knows. He never forgot the Cold War. And to that point, a lot of people are saying that, you know, he's in his late 60s. He had COVID. So he feels his mortality. Mortality. He feels his mortality, and he never, because he was a soldier during the Cold War, he never got over the Cold War. He never got over those countries expressing their independence. So this is in the most ugliest terms. This is his swan song.
I was like, yo, he played the long game.
Oh yeah.
He's been setting this up for a while.
Yeah.
He's like, let me get Trump in the office.
Yeah.
Let me disrupt everything so America ain't worried about nothing.
Right.
I ain't gonna have Obama looking at me sideways while I grip my hand up with his big old hand.
Yeah. And just miscalculated a bunch of things. Miscalculated
the people.
The heart of the Ukrainians. Like I saw a video and there were 2 tanks riding through.
Oh, dude.
And yo, Molotov cocktails rained down like it was beautiful.
Yeah,
It looked like fire rain. Like there was just
turning
so
that
many.
lens around on us, fam. We don't have that energy, bro.
I think we do.
You do?
I think
we don't.
I think we do.
You think we need a common enemy to manifest that energy?
Yes. You saw what happened with 9/11?
Yes, it's all we need is a common enemy.
Absolutely.
Everybody just needs somebody besides the black people.
I don't know, because even with like
Keep it real.
9/11, it was really unfortunate that we seen a whole bunch of Muslim people have to deal with that bull when they didn't do anything and they're American citizens.
Yeah.
Some of them are just legit black people.
Oh, yeah.
Ain't never even left the country, and they were being treated like trash.
Yes.
And look at how easy our country cracked under that pressure. Don't get it wrong, 9/11 was horrible,
Yes.
but it was, and a lot of lives got lost. But that was only 2 buildings. And look how quick we cracked. People hid, people didn't want to help people, people started fighting over all types of dumb after that. So it's like, if we were really attacked the way Ukraine is attacked, the way these countries are attacked, you're gonna have probably like 3,000 people like, yeah, let's go to war. And then you got 1 billion people over here ducking in their homes trying to stockpile toilet paper.
But if you think about it this way, right? Think about the Ukrainian president is out here. He's fighting alongside his people. He's like, hey, I'm not leaving you guys. I'm here. You know, I don't need a ride. I need some ammunition, right? That's him. And the people are fighting alongside him. It's his spirit. Here's the thing. Let me tell you who I'm not following behind. Backbiting Biden.
Yo, that part.
If he tell me to go left, I'm going right. He tell me to go up, I'm going down.
But that also goes to the point of America. Like we always vote in these old leaders.
Hold on. Do we, or is it that the party sets up the structure so that the only choice we have is what they give us?
The Ukrainian president was their most famous comedian. Like, I want people to realize he was a comedian who did a skit on how to be president and is now the president. And he's a realer president than any president we've ever had.
I do want to salute though in the stuff that kind of goes unnoticed is, or in the main stories, you know, like the 13 Ukrainian soldiers who were on Snake Island. You know, you guys right there, you know, if you've been out, to my veterans, those who have deployed, been to war, and you've been out in the ish, you know, to where you're in a firefight, and it seems like it's taking forever, you know, it just seems like the rounds aren't stopping, you know. These 13 guys were sent out onto this Snake Island to hold it down, to keep the Russians out. And these 2 warships pulled up, called them out on the radio, you know, and if you're in a warship, warships can shoot from the sea, they shoot the land, all right? They messed up, destroy, obliterate buildings. You know, but this warship came in. They called out to these Ukrainian soldiers, told them to drop down their arms and give up. And Ukrainian soldiers said it. Excuse my language, nowhere family show. But they said, Russian warship, fuck off. Go fuck yourself, pretty much. You know, and then died a few seconds later. You know, but and then the soldier that blew up the bridge, you know, soldier he knew the bridge. He knew he couldn't get the bridge to explode on time by getting out, but he wanted to stop the Russian tanks from going across. You know, it's these acts of bravery, these acts of valor.
Did you see about that guy?
Was that
the Ghost of Kyiv?
Yeah.
He was just some dude. Nobody knew who he was. and he jumped in a plane.
Nah, I was debunked. It's a myth.
It's a myth?
It's a myth. It was debunked, yep.
Oh, so he ain't real.
No, but so
I thought he was real.
So do these guys though, like the soldier that blew up the bridge and killed himself in the process, to keep enemy tanks from coming in. It's things like that, thoughtless acts, taking the ultimate sacrifice to try for a better outcome. Salute to you guys.
Yeah. Folks, just want to let you know that you are listening, watching, and rocking out with TCP in the morning. The best thing that you can have in your cup. TCP in the morning comes to you every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. for your listening and viewing pleasure here on Facebook and Facebook Live. And you can also watch us on Facebook Watch as well. You will then be able to hear us on WTCP beginning in exactly 32 days. What is WTCP? Well, we bringing it back, baby. It is our radio station, and we got some great shows coming for you as well. And let's not forget about what else? Our online, on-air magazine, The Cultured Professional. And our first cover story is none other than Ms. Mysteria. So, yes, everybody, we are going to be anticipating that. That will be dropping 4/2/2022. So, there is a event going on tomorrow. Jess, for the people that are just joining the show right now, can you tell the people what is going on tomorrow night?
Tuesdays, Tacos, and Talk.
Hey, and what does that entail?
That is networking, that is poetry, that is good conversation, that is progression and collectiveness. That is Freddie's reading an excerpt from his book. That is Ira Steele hosting and giving us all the vibes that we need while we mix, mingle, eat dollar tacos, and enjoy these drink specials and Caribbean vibes. Because we gonna be at Got Jerked. Got the rum room for poetry.
Dig it.
And if you have any of y'all been in the rum room?
Nope.
I have.
You've been in the rum room. Yeah, it's a vibe. It's a
like
vibe.
Dim lighting, brick walls.
Oh, really?
It's like mafia style, bro.
Like a Pirate's Cove. Like, it's a vibe.
It's mafia style.
I'm excited to just hear poetry in this rum room and sit down and connect people. The power of networking is very, very real.
Yes, absolutely.
Like it takes, and I said it before, it literally just takes a conversation to spark anything.
Yeah.
And if we're collectively doing things,
griots like yourself, Uncle Gary, that can tell us about those things, so then we can learn from those things and make informed decisions. So folks, again, we have about 10 minutes left here on TCP in the morning. Man, oh man, this was a great way to come back and begin this Melanated Media once again for the springtime season. If you all have not realized, 5 o'clock, it is still light outside. Better days, warmer days are coming, folks.
Yes.
So just hang tight, and better days are coming. To our Ukrainian brothers and sisters, it really feels disingenuous.
Be organized for medical supplies. Hit up Penn. Like my sister works for LGH. Well, she works for Roseville Pediatrics. She's a supervising nurse. So I'm like, talk to your providers. Let's figure out how we can get these people medical supplies since they're so real and they're on the grounds and Miss Ukraine is out there fighting. But now I wake up in the morning and it's like, y'all ripping black people off trains. Yeah. So how do we get the black people to stuff?
Not to mention, most of the black people are there as medical students.
Literally, yeah.
They are the doctors.
Yes.
The black people are the doctors.
And that's why they won't let them leave, because after we get shot up, we're going to need you.
Yeah, that part. That
so
part.
now you doctor slave.
Right. I was about to say, now we're still indoctrinated to do work for them because we now, again, like when they kidnapped us, we got the skills, and now you're making us stay here and perform them for you.
And I really got to get it out of my mind that America is the only racist country.
It's not.
No,
Right,
it's
right.
it's an Anglo-Saxon thing. It's
world
an
don't like black
Anglo
people.
thing.
No, don't get it wrong. Germany, I know.
Yes.
There's a few, but it's like when I think of these foreign countries, when you say words like Ukraine, and I think of the oppressive state, it's like, how do y'all even have time to be racist?
Racism takes no days off, family. Like,
Because even if I'm poor, I'm still not an N-word.
that part.
I do want to say though, can you imagine? Like, it's hard. It'll always be hard. But if Africa would unite, if Africa became a state, a nation, even half of it, or United States, you know what I mean? How the United States has it. But if Africa come together, like the money in that country, in Africa, the money there, natural resources alone. Yeah. If we could develop, I don't want to develop the whole land. Let's not develop all of Africa because it's too beautiful. And it's too, and plus it's too big to develop.
It's huge.
It's way too big to develop. But if that could come together, you would see the largest force.
Absolutely.
The largest force, Like I think about Shaka Zulu, what he did. What Shaka Zulu did by uniting all the tribes.
Repping YPOC, HARP, my media stuff. But listen, YPOC, we've been moving and shaking up in here. We just concluded our Black in the Berg week. We had a bunch of amazing events, and for those of y'all who are out here, we also want to extend a very, very warm invitation for our Juneteenth extravaganza happening coming up this June. It'll be a week-long celebration of all things Black experiences, like from health to home ownership to a half-day conference to a big combination concert and big family stuff. So there'll be stuff for everybody. So please look out. We'll be tagging y'all on the promos. And at the end of the day, fam, like it's all about doing the work. I will forever quote Julia Isms, right? Do your work because an easier assignment is not coming. Right? We all have to do our part, and so I love the vibe that y'all are setting up out here in Lancaster because, we can't reach the same people. And for me, I always say, everybody can't be the fork in the cutlery box of life. We need the spoons, we need the spatulas, we need the knives, right? We need all the pieces to make this thing work. So I am here for it. Please connect ypoc-hbg.org or me, Miss Winnie O at everything or Winnie O Media. So fam, we look forward to connecting and staying connected and doing the work, obviously communally and together, because that's how we go forward. Yeah, so thank you.
No problem. We put the membership link in the comments section, so you all can click that link and become a member. It's all about shrinking this thing we call Central Pennsylvania. We all share similar experiences, whether you're from Lebanon, Lancaster, York, or Harrisburg. So let's shrink Central PA and let's share these resources. Me, myself, I cannot wait to be a active member in YPOC. I was on their Zoom call. Well, I was watching their Zoom call last week. A amazing organization. The whole time I was watching, I was like, man, like we need that here. But then I thought, you know what? It's already here because they're already doing it. So now I need to take myself there so that I can help spread the goodness of YPOC.
Man, can I talk? I want to help. How do we get it out there?
like, yo, it's so inspiring. I mean the folks that they had on the Zoom. The one lady, I believe her name is Kamika.
Yes.
Cannot wait to go on her show, The Newsbeat, and
I was about to say, we supposed to go last week.
Yes. I cannot wait. So we are going to definitely connect these dots, make it happen, and folks, again, hit that link in the comments section. Before we head out, Candace says, "What an informative show. Thanks, TCP family. Have a fabulous day." And Gary. Got shots for Lady L, says, "Talking crap about Biden, it shows me that you have no respect for black women because black women who are in the know voted for Joe.
So
and what they know is
what I know is that I'm going to let somebody who's old enough to be my parent have their moment. And I'm not going to allow ageism to be a thing to hinder black people growing together, because that's all about ageism. And also what I'm not going to do is hold on to something that a politician did eons ago and say, yes, you saved me. Excuse you? Women are in Texas running away for abortion resources. Please tell me, what black women did he save? Oh, because he stopped them from getting their heads knocked off from a man that they chose to be with. That's a whole nother conversation, Gary.
But Lady L.
Anyway, go ahead, Jess.
Why does oppressive men just try to tell a black woman how to be a black woman?
Because that's what they do. Because he knows better.
We gotta sign off. This is why I didn't want to. I didn't want to get.
I wasn't going to say nothing. I left it. I wasn't going to say nothing.
But you did.
You read it.
But
you read it,
and you kept on going.
She's like, I'm not going to talk about.
But guess what?
And then the list began.
That's the reason why I got Gary back.
Oh man, and now I have to pass it back to her to sign off.
Thank you for watching TCP in the Morning with your host, Lady L, my handsome husband co-host, the Sarge,
The ugly
and
dude
producer
sitting
Todd. And shouts out to our guests, Jess Mysteria and Winnie O. Listen, guys, these women are doing phenomenal things in and around our community. So listen, I hope to see you Tuesday at Tacos and Talks over at a black-owned establishment, Got Jerk. Also, I hope to see you joining us at the Young Professionals of Color Harrisburg chapter as we continue to expand and make connections. Thank you for watching and thanks for tuning in.
All right, Sarge.
Well, y'all folks out there, y'all kings, y'all queens, y'all baby boys, baby dolls, and everything in between. To the he's, to the she's, to the theys, to the we's.
We, baby.
I want to leave y'all something like this. I want y'all to know this before I read my Maya Angelou quote. I want to say, people make black contact before they make eye contact.
Ooh!
Maya Angelou.
I'm just going to stop there. I'll do the Maya Angelou one later. I'll do that tomorrow.
Yeah, do it another day. That's all we need right now.
People will make black contact before they make eye contact.
I can't even say anything. I don't want to say anything.
Call for black up.
Ooh. My God. My God. Sarge, you know what? Just repeat it again and sign us off.
Hey, y'all, listen here. This is the Sarge. I want y'all to know, people will make black contact before they make eye contact with you. Y'all heard it here first. This is the Sarge. This is your penny.com health minute. In part 2 of our healthcare terminology, we begin with the phrase out-of-pocket maximum, which is the most money in the form of deductibles, co-pays, and co-insurances you can pay each year, regardless of how much medical care you need. Do you need prescription medication? Well, penny.com has provided a convenient way for you to look at the plan.